Next lesson is morphology of flowering plants. Morphology. You know fundamentals about morphology, I think so. What is morphology? Morphology is nothing but study of external characters. External characters or external properties of plants is morphology of flowering plants. What are the external characters? There are different branches of science. Suppose in botany, we are going to study already cell lesson we completed. What is that? Study about cell is called cytology. Study of the metabolic reactivities or metabolic changes, that is called physiology, that we started already. Study of internal properties of cell is called what? Anatomy. Study of reproduction, that is what? Embryology. Like that, different branches are there again. Here, where is the study of external characters or external features of plant is called what? Morphology of the plants. Here, morphology of flowering plants we are going to discuss. What are flowering plants? In plant kingdom, there are different classes again, like algae, bryophytes, iridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Angiosperms are said to be flowering plants. Okay, flowering plants, which are true flowering plants. Angiosperms. In angiosperms, what are the external characters present? That we are going to study in detail. See here, if you see plant structure of an angiosperm or a flowering plant, you know, a flowering plant has many parts which are divided into two, whereas inside the soil there is a presence of a system of roots. That is what we can say root system. Inside the soil, below the level of the soil, there is presence of a system of the plant which is called as root system. That root system has main roots, rootlets, everything. That rootlets means this is main roots. The branches which are developing from the main root, they are called as what? Secondary roots. Then on them there may be presence of again some more branches, they are called as the tertiary roots. So the primary root, secondary root, tertiary roots all together is called as what? Root system. Above that soil, there is the presence of which parts you can find in a plant above the soil? Shoot we can find. Shoot has all parts like stem, main stem, and that stem has branches. Yes or no? Branches are present. That stem and branches, what are present? They have parts like leaves. Yes or no? Branches have leaves. So leaves are also a part of shoot system. Okay. And when these plants are reproducing, they will produce flowers. Flowers may be produced near this node or at the tip, like that. Flowers are also produced. Then from that flowers, there is formation of fruit, seed. So all these parts of plants are visible, which are external characters. Okay, these parts of the plant where root is there. If we take up the plant from the soil, we can observe the root and root branches and different parts of root also. Similarly, on the soil, above the soil, when we take a plant, all the parts of the plant like main stem and its lateral branches and where leaves are there. Okay, that arrangement of leaf is different in different plants and branching is also different in different plants. Leaves are there. Then that leaves are nothing but which are modified parts only, called what? Flowers. Flowers are nothing but modified leaves. So that flowers are producing all flowers may not have similar properties in all plants. Floral symmetry is different. Different types of flowers are there, male flower, female flower, bisexual flower. Like that, flowers are also different. From the flowers only there is formation of fruits, seeds, everything. So study of all these external characters of a plant is called morphology. Okay. So in that morphology, first we'll see about root system. Root system. What is the root system? Geotropic path of the plant. Geotropic path of the plant is called root system. Geotropic means which is present inside the soil. Inside the soil, below the level of the soil, the entire part of the plant is present. That is what we can say root system. This root system includes, what are the parts of root system? Just now I told you, main root. Main root is called primary root. Main root is called primary root. Secondary roots, tertiary roots, everything. Secondary roots, tertiary roots. These are parts. That means all these secondary roots and tertiary roots are called rootlets. So the main root and rootlets all together form this one. What is I can't do video is stucking. Here signals may be less. Wait 1 second. Yeah, wait 1 second. I will connect to Wi-Fi. Wait. Okay. So the root system includes primary root, secondary root, tertiary root, all together. Okay, you know already the root is responsible for absorption of water and water dissolved minerals. In transport plants and mineral nutrition, we discussed about some types, functions. See here, types of root system. Root system. How root system was developed? Based on that, root system. Root system. First one is the tap root system. Tap root system, and second one is adventitious root system. Root system is majorly divided into two types. They are tap root and adventitious roots. Here, based on which they are divided into two types? Based on origin. Origin means based on the development or growth. From where that root system is developing. Based on the point or based on the part from which a root develops, this is majorly divided into two types. One is the tap root system, second one is adventitious root system. What is a tap root system? If you see a seed majorly has two parts. Seed has embryo. Inside the seed there is presence of embryo, which may be divided into cotyledons or may not be divided into cotyledons. Here, if cotyledons are formed, then it is what? Dicot seed. If cotyledons are not separated, then it is called as monocot seed. In that seed, an embryo is there. That embryo has two parts. What are that? Plumule. And the second one is radicle. Plumule gives shoot system, whereas radicle gives root system. So root which develops from the radicle, is called as taproot system. Root system which develops from the radical is called taproot system. Okay. Here, what is adventitious root system? Adventitious root system means that roots develop from other than the radical. Other than radical. If a root is developing from other than radical means, see, some parts of the plants can develop roots. In hydroponics, we studied where roots are. In hydroponics, actually, we are taking entire plant where roots are kept. But actually, when a plant pot is taken, that plant pot is kept in contact with soil and water. Some parts of the plant have the ability to develop root directly. That roots may be developing from the stem or branches or from the nodes of the stem, or some plants can develop leaf notches. From the notches of leaves, there may be development of roots. Take an example, banyan tree. What is banyan? In banyan tree, here in morphology, we are discussing with many examples, all examples. I will try to learn the Tamil names of plants. Okay, English names already. Okay, in banyan tree, there are large branches. As the branches are very large in size, from that branches there is development of some roots which become attached with the soil. They give support to the branch. Yes or no? That is the type of root which is called pillar. In banyan, there is development of a root that becomes pillar to the branch. That is developing from where? Is it developing directly from the radical of the seed? No, it is not developing from the radical of the seed. It is developing from stem. From stem it is developing. It is developing from other than radical. Similarly, if you take bryophyllum leaf, that bryophyllum leaf has notches of a margin. This leaf margin has some notches, dislike structures. So where the leaf wheels are ending, from this there is development of some adventitious roots that can become a new plant. So this part of leaf which is developing a root. So this root is developing from other than the radical. That roots which are developing from other than the radical are called adventitious roots. Okay. So tap roots are developing directly from the radical. Adventitious roots are developing from other than the radical. If you see, in dicots, a taproot system is majorly developed. Monocots also develop taproots. Because how monocot plant will develop? A seed will be there. From that seed only there is development of main plants. So seed is germinating into plant means first there is development of taproot only. But it also develops adventitious root. But an important point regarding this adventitious roots, the taproots, which one? Taproots of monocots is short-lived. Once a monocot plant is developed from the roots, the taproot is short-living. Short-living means it cannot live for long time. It is undergoing what? Degeneration. So as the taproot of monocot is short-lived, it develops a group of hairy roots. A group of hairy roots are developing where taproot is degenerating. These roots which are developing from the part of taproot in monocots is called fibrous roots. Fibrous roots. If you take a monocot plant, the plant germinated and a taproot system was developed. What is the difference between taproot and this fibrous or adventitious? That we'll see now. Taproot system means it has a primary root. Primary root. That primary root has secondary roots. On secondary roots, again there is a formation of tertiary root. That means there is a main root system. One main root is there, which is growing deep inside the soil. From that, there is the development of secondary and tertiary roots. That means these are like branches. But the fibrous root which is developed on degeneration of that taproot, how it is appearing means, suppose here taproot is there, taproot is degenerating, I told you, in monocots. This is a small twig or plants. This taproot is degenerating. Degenerating means it is not breaking, it is degenerating, simply dying. When a taproot dies or degenerates, in that place, a small hairy roots are produced like a bunch. More number of hairy roots are produced in the place of the taproot after the degeneration of the taproot. So this group of roots all together is called what? Fibrous. Okay. So is there any difference between fibrous root and adventitious roots? No. Is there any difference or not? There is a difference. Why it is called fibrous? There are a group of hairy roots. That's why it is called as fibrous. What is the name of adventitious? Adventitious root which is developing from other than. If a root is developing from other than radical, that is what adventitious root meaning. Okay. But fibrous root means taproot is replaced with fibrous roots. Taproot is replaced with many hairy roots, that is called as fibrous. So fibrous and adventitious is actually different. We can say in monocot taproot is replaced with fibrous roots, but in dicots taproot is existing. Okay. Here adventitious roots. Adventitious root, suppose if it is developing from notches of the leaf or from branches of the stem, that is adventitious. Then that is not fibrous. Yes or no? Fibrous root is not adventitious. Sorry. Adventitious root is not fibrous. Yes or no? But fibrous root is adventitious. While fibrous root is developing where taproot is degenerated. That means fibrous roots are developing not from radical. So fibrous root is adventitious. But adventitious roots which are developing on that stem branches, sometimes they may not be fibrous. So simply taproot and adventitious, these are based on origin. Only two types. Okay, fibrous root, sometimes we may think adventitious root is also called fibrous root, that is entirely wrong. Fibrous root is where taproot is replaced with small hairy roots, so that is called as what? Fibrous roots. Okay, these are types of root systems based on the development or based on the mode of development or based on origin. Then parts of root system. Parts of root system. If you take a root is growing geotropically. Yes or no? Root is growing geotropically. That root has, which is growing geotropically, it has three major parts. A root has three major parts. Three major parts or three major zones are there where that root is differentiating at a place called as zone of maturation, which is called as maturation zone, and here there is elongation zone, and here there is division zone, cell division. So root is majorly divided into three parts. From terminal, this is the terminal end. From terminal to top, or from terminal to base. This is the base of the root. We may think inside deep this is base. Yes or no? You may think this is the base of the root. That is not base of the root. Base of the root is here. From where it is developing, that is the base. This is the terminal or end of the root. So at terminal, there is a part of root where cell division is taking place. Actively dividing cells are present at this region. The region at which actively dividing cells present is called as cell division zone or zone of cell division. Okay, so first one is zone of cell division. Zone of cell division. Zone of cell division. Cells are dividing. Actively dividing cells are present means that is called meristematic zone. The zone of root where actively dividing cells are present, that is called as meristematic zone. Meristematic cells are there, and meristematic tissues, permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues can divide continuously. Where continuously dividing cells are there, that is called as meristematic tissue. Where cells lost their division activity, that is called as permanent. Here dividing cells are there, that is what we can say meristematic zone. Cells can divide and form new cells. New cells means it makes root growth. Growth of the root is carried at zone of cell division. Growth. What is growth? Increase in the number of cells in a tissue, it is called growth. Increase in the number of cells is called growth, where cells are undergoing division and there is a formation of new cells, so that the size of this root is increasing. That is responsible for this root growth. Okay, and here this is what we can say terminal, and this part ends with root tip, zone of cell division. This ends with a part called root tip. That root tip in every root is covered by a protective layer called root cap. Root tip is covered with a root cap. Root tip covered with root cap. What is root cap function? It is responsible for two major functions. Root tip is covered with root cap. that has two important functions. One function is it protects the root tip because root tip is young. Root tip is actively dividing cells are present. It is young tissue. It is young tissue means very smooth in nature. As it is smooth in nature, that is protected by root cap. That is one function. And the second function of root cap is it is secreting a mucilage. It is secreting. I will dictate the points so that you can write. So that root cap is responsible for secretion of a what slippery nature mucilage. Mucilage is secreted like water. That mucilage, when it is secreted by root cap, mucilage combines with the soil and soil become smooth. Mucilage is secreted by this root cap. That root cap, which is secreting the mucilage combines with the soil and soil becomes smooth. Soil becomes smooth means root can penetrate easily into the soil. So root cap has two functions. One is it protects root tip and secretes mucilage for penetration of the root into the soil. Okay, this root cap is developing from a part called as calyptrosen. Calyptrosen is a type of meristematic tissue. It is a type of meristematic tissue which is called as calyptrosen. In anatomy, we will see that. Calyptrosen, dermatosen, calyptrosen like that. Calyptrosen is responsible for root cap. Dermatosen is responsible for epidermal tissue systems. Anatomy might have some hard. Cortex, epidermis, xylem, phloem, pericycle, that parts are there. Na? Each and every part is developing from a type of meristematic tissue. Root cap is developing from a meristematic tissue called as calyptrosen. Okay, write the 2 points now, what I told you. Root cap protects root tip. Root cap protects root tip. That is one point. Next point, it secretes mucilage that smoothens soil. Smoothens or softens. That smoothens soil for the penetration of root into the soil. For the penetration of root into the soil. Okay, it is produced from a part called as a type of meristematic tissue called as calyptrosen. And if you see how root caps are present in plants means, before the point, it protects root cap. That is one function. It protects root cap. One function. Next point, it secretes mucilage. It secretes mucilage which smoothens soil. For the penetration of roots into the soil. For the penetration of roots into the soil. Okay? If you see, yeah, you're writing up. Yeah. Okay. keep the thing on J. Keep J goes up. First is range of the other. What is the name included in the J? Okay, complete. Yes. If you see root cap arrangement in plants, do all plants have same type of root cap in size or form? Is no. Usually, every root tip has one root cap. What is every root tip? Suppose if you take a taproot system, that taproot system has one primary root. That primary root has root cap, and secondary roots are there means that secondary roots have root tips. They have root cap. Tertiary roots are there means every root tip is covered with a root cap. Okay, but what about fibrous roots? Fibrous roots have all hairy roots which are grouped. Each and every root, fibrous root has one root tip that is covered with root cap. But the plants which are living on soil, that means which are called as mesophytes. Mesophytes are the plants which are living on soil. Plants which are living in water, they are called hydrophytes. This root cap is well developed in mesophytes than hydrophytes. Why? Because hydrophytes means the plant is present in water. So as water is available, small soil is already smooth. So root caps are not well developed. But in some plants, like hydrophytes, which are floating hydrophytes, which are present on surface of the water, that root cap has some different function. We'll see that now. Difference in root caps. If you see one example, pandanus. Pandanus is a plant that has largest root cap. Root cap is found largest in a plant called pandanus. Okay. What is pandanus plant? That is your word. I don't know the real names. Then in hydrophytes, especially in floating hydrophytes, root cap balances the plant. Take an example. Suppose on surface of water there is presence of some floating hydrophytes like Pistia and Eichernia plants, where the bunches of leaves are present and stem is here. From the bunches of leaves there is development of what fibrous roots. A type of adventitious roots are developed. So here the node of stem is there. From that there is a development of roots like this. These root cap, what is present here, that is becoming a pocket-like structure. A pocket-like structure that is responsible for balancing. Example, Pistia, Eichernia. Pistia is called water lettuce. Eichernia is called water hyacinth, where root cap modified into root pockets. Root cap was modified into root pockets in Pistia and Eichernia, that is responsible for balancing of the plants. Okay. Right? Here the diagram is needed until the end of this topic. We need this diagram where root has I shown like that. This is what maturation zone. These are root has. So below that, actually below that means what we can say? This is what zone of cell division. Below that division means we may think here, because from top to bottom we are moving in the soil. But below that cell division zone means this is the part which we call elongation zone, because this is the terminal, this is the base. Below means from terminal to base we have to consider. When we consider that, next zone is called what? Elongation zone. Zone of elongation. Elongation zone. These are heteroflexion. Mucilage is not much secondary, because here it is hanging roots, because this is a wet body. Here roots are not penetrating into the soil, there is no secretion of the mucilage. Where especially like in clayey soil also. In clayey soil also there is no need of secretion of more mucilage, because soil is already clayey soil. If soil has a rough texture, very hard soil is there. If soil is very hard, then mucilage is secreted more. But based on that soil, the secretion is different. Root cap has a property of secretion of mucilage. If that root cap is present in a hydrophyte, means no need of secretion of mucilage. Okay, that is different. Yeah. Then elongation zone. This is next to cell division zone. Next to cell division zone, there is a zone of elongation in roots. Name itself. Root is not visible to you. Here, what is name itself? What is the name? Elongation. Here, cell elongation takes place. Cell elongation takes place in this zone. Cell elongation. Cell is elongating means it is increasing in its size. It is increasing in its size. Increasing in size means what happens? Cell growth. Growth means all after cell division, where growth is taking place. Cell division we discussed already. Cell cycle, interphase, M phase. In interphase and M phase, in which stage there is growth is taking place? Normally, cellular growth is taking place majorly in G1. G1 means cellular growth. After that, S phase taking place means DNA will be increasing. Again, G2 is there. If S phase is taken place, then only it is G2 taking place. Then it is undergoing cell division. Otherwise, if cell is not further dividing, G1 takes place. By that G1, that division will be stopped. Next cycle will not taking place. So in G1, there is growth. What takes place in G1? Actually, nuclear growth, organelles will develop, protein synthesis. Some properties we discussed about G1. So all the properties are taking place. Cell elongation, cells increase in size. Cells are increasing in size. Here, small cell, one cell is dividing into two cells means that the cells are increasing in the size, where cells are proliferating. Cell size is increasing. So where cells are increasing in size, that the cells become ready for differentiation. They become ready for differentiation. What is the differentiation? Where one cell is dividing. After that dividing or division, they become a permanent cell. We'll see when we go for this differentiation zone, then we'll see. You copy the 2 points, then we'll go for differentiation zone. Very simple about elongation zone. It is present next to the cell division zone, where it is responsible for increasing the cell size, so that cells are elongating. They become ready for differentiation. Okay. Usually, this elongation zone is involving in absorption of. Usually, root hairs are responsible for absorption of water and minerals. We discussed. Elongation zone also we discussed somewhere. Where? What is the role of elongation zone? Someone, yeah, Sumira. Elongation zone is responsible for absorption of mineral ions. Mineral nutrition chapter there we discussed. Elongation zone is responsible for absorption of ionic form of minerals. Okay, right. So then see this differentiation zone, which is called as a maturation zone. Zone of maturation or zone of differentiation. Okay, this is what we can say. Third one, zone of maturation. This maturation zone is a process. Cell differentiation takes place here. Cell differentiation takes place. What is cell differentiation? Differentiation is a process where dividing cells are converted into permanent cells. Dividing cells are called what? Meristematic cells. That meristematic cells are converting into permanent cells. Here, what are the permanent cells here? Usually here, if you see, all types of cells which are present in cell division zone are clones. Clones means identical or similar. And all the cells which are present in elongation zone are also similar. But here, root is growing in this direction. Root is growing in this direction means suppose this is the root. Now, here, zone of cell division is there. Okay. Some more cells are divided means then it is moving, root is growing. So the old formed or earlier formed cells, they will become into elongation zone. Then root is growing. Now this is what division zone. Earlier formed cells are in elongation zone. Then when root is somewhat grown further, that the cells what are present in elongation zone, they will be coming into maturation zone. Their differentiation takes place. What is that maturation zone or differentiation taking place means? Here all the cells which are present here are same and the cells which are present here are same. But here there is a formation of different types of tissues. Differentiation is a process where different tissues of roots are made in this zone. Different zones of or different tissues of root, like root hair. Root hair is an external growth which are developing from epidermis of the roots. So root hair is developed. Epidermis is a tissue which is present in roots. Below the epidermis, what is present? Cortex. Then endodermis. Then pericycle. Then xylem, phloem, even medulla or pith, which is present in root anatomy. So all parts of the root or all tissues, all tissue systems of the roots are developing. Okay. So these different zones, if we see root anatomy, there is presence of first epidermal tissue system. there is epidermis. Below that epidermis, there is the presence of cortex. Okay. Cortex is multi-layered. In anatomy, we will see these structures in detail. Then below that, there is presence of endodermis. That endodermis only having Casparian strips and passages is what we discussed. Endodermis. Below that endodermis, there is a layer of pericycle. Then this pericycle, inside that there is a presence of xylem. Xylem is present in vascular bundles. In 10th class, that anatomy is there. No, 9th class, root anatomy. Yeah, in metric, in 10th class it is there. In metric, for metric students. For CBSE students, it is there in 9th, I think. Just what is the structure of roots? So these diagrams are there. Where xylem, phloem, medulla, different parts of this vascular bundle will be there. Here, this is vascular bundle where it has xylem and phloem will be present in the middle of the xylem, and medulla is there. Okay. So different tissues are there. These different tissues are majorly divided into three groups of tissues: epidermal tissue system, ground tissues, and vascular tissues. Vascular tissues include xylem, phloem. Ground tissues, cortex, endodermis, pericycle, medulla, with all are ground tissues. In epidermis, and the epidermis has root hairs. So below this, below this elongation zone, there is presence of this one maturation zone. This maturation zone is responsible for formation of all different tissues. Okay. But elongation zone has identical cells. Only one type of cells are present in elongation zone and cell division zone. That elongated cells which are proliferating are cells which are increased in size. They are maturing into different forms. That process is called what? Differentiation. Write that point. Differentiation is a process. Differentiation is a process where there is formation of permanent tissues. Permanent tissues from meristematic tissue. From meristematic tissue, there is a formation of permanent tissue. That process is called what? Differentiation. Here, meristematic tissue, these cells are meristematic in nature. That means they are actively dividing. But cells which are present in elongation zone, they are not dividing. Cells of maturation system, they do not have division capacity. A cell became root hair means that root hair, its size may increase, but root hair may not form some more cells. So all these are parts of maturation system, maturation zone. Different parts of root are developing in this here. So once this root hair or epidermis or cortex, endodermis, pericycle, xylem, phloem, medulla, if these parts are made once, means that cells of this do not undergo division further. This is permanent tissues. These cells of these tissues will not undergo any further division. So they are said to be permanent tissues. So permanent tissues are made in maturation zone of the roots. Okay. What is lunch time? Time is over. So okay, enough for today. So these are three zones of root system. Okay, every root has three parts. What are they? First one is cell division zone, then elongation zone, then maturation zone. What is the proximal part here? Proximal maturation. Yeah, proximal to distal or terminal. Proximal to distal or terminal. Distal means what? Proximal to terminal. Yeah. Proximal to terminal is this order. Terminal to proximal means this order you have to choose. Question may come. What is the order of root zones from proximal to terminal. Then maturation, elongation, this one order. If question is what is the terminal to proximal means, then the order will be okay. What is the basal zone of the root system? Maturation zone only. That is the root base. Okay. Right. Enough for today. Enough for today. We will meet again tomorrow class. Tomorrow I will take class. Actually, in timetable there is no class tomorrow. 3 days continuously I will take. Okay. Right. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.